Hey, what's up? This is Tim from Underoath, and you're watching ACtv. Hey, it's Tim from Underoath. We're here on the Warped Tour, and we're in Mountain View right now, right outside of San Francisco, and been out here for about 7 weeks now, and it's been hot and cold and up and down, good weather, good shows, really hot shows, but it's been fun, and so far everything's been good. We have 3 shows left, and then we go home for a while, so it's been a great summer so far. This is I think we're going into our 9th week, maybe 8th week. We've been out for about 2 months now, maybe a little more, so it's been good.
What's your favorite song to play live on your set?
A song called Emergency Broadcast. It's three different guitar parts and a bunch of extra drum stuff, so it's just fun to play 'cause running around doing a bunch of things. I don't really know if music is as meaningful and pure as it was in the 60s, but I don't know. I don't think I really have times like these, assuming the economic times and craziness. I don't really have much advice besides just don't put all your eggs in the basket that revolves around money and having things. You know, find art or social things that transcend whether you get a big paycheck or not, because I think that's kind of waiting to be disappointed at some point. You're never gonna make a certain amount of money for the rest of your life, so if your life's dependent on shopping and purchasing and consuming to a degree, I think that you're always going to be a little bummed out. But if you figure out creative ways to kind of get around that and find happiness in other things, then you're pretty much weatherproof to a degree. There's a lot of things. I mean, I think that we're most universally known for as our faith, being a Christian band and stuff. I think that's a pretty big thing. Kind of looking around and just being like, yeah, like sometimes stuff sucks here, but there's more than meets the eye to a degree. There's greater things at work, even in the bad, and yeah, I just think that there's positive things to be seen in all things. And I think that the people, especially in America now, like stuff we're going through, like people losing their houses and losing their cars and stuff like that, like we have commercials like talking about them being like a new crisis. And I don't really think it's a crisis. I think, like, you know, a family foreclosing on their home and losing a bunch of money that they put down on it 5 years ago is an unfortunate thing, but that family's just going to move into a smaller apartment and rent for a while. No one's, you know, our country's a place where even the poorest of the poor are the world's rich. So I think that we just need to keep focused on that and just realize, like, you know, when it's good, and when it's bad, it's still good compared to most of our friends across the pond. So. Oh. I shouldn't answer that question. A lot of the bands on this tour make me laugh. Eastbound and Down makes me laugh. I don't know. Just some funny dudes on this tour. They make me laugh. Just hanging out.
Checked out you like?
Yeah, this dude named Shad. He's a hip hop artist. He's playing tonight at 7:15. He's really good. A lot of the rest of the stuff, just our old friends like Alexis on Fire and POS and Thrice, and I mean there's a handful of really good bands. Bayside, Gallows is really good. Gotten into them a lot this summer. There's just a lot of cool bands that are doing good things, and you just got to sift through all the other ones to get there.
You know what I mean?
Don't be in a band to be cool, I guess. I think a lot of people, like, their bands like their haircut or their, you know, how many kids bought their t-shirts or whatever, and it's kind of like, I don't know, just, at least for me, the people that I respect the most that I think last the longest, even if they're not the biggest bands, still are bands that actually are in bands because they like music and they want to create something that is meaningful and is as impactful as like what bands affected them when they were younger or what bands still affect. So I feel like, you know, I don't know, just have your motives in check and don't do it to get big, because starting in the year 2009, the music industry isn't a profitable industry to be in. So the people that are here because they love music and not because they love their Beamer, you know? There's a lot of staples in music that I don't really, haven't really experienced or signed on to. But there's just weird people, man. There's just weird stuff. I guess because you play guitar, I guess, or you sing or play drums in a band, somehow that elevates your status as a human being. I think that's kind of weird. I think there's like a lot of weird dudes that think that they're something bigger than they are, and there's a lot of kids out in the crowd that think because they're on the ground and someone else is on a stage that certain things socially are different, and I don't really think that's the case. So try to deal with it, but there's a lot of weird kids and there's a lot of weird band dudes, so just try to like hang out and just be like, yeah, whatever, live it. A lot of things. I was pretty old when I first started experiencing music. I grew up in like a really pretty conservative Christian family, so I wasn't really allowed to like listen to a lot of different kinds of music till I was old enough to learn how to hide stuff under my bed and listen to it in my friends' cars and stuff. So I was probably like 13 when I first started listening to music, where a lot of people are like 8, 9, kind of getting exposed to that. I remember kind of Jimmy Eat World Clarity, still probably one of my favorite records of all time, and that record's really important. And yeah, there's At the Drive-In, Relationship of Command's really good. There's a lot of like instrumental stuff like Mogwai. A lot of people cite Sigaros. I think Sigaros is really good, but I enjoy Mogwai a bit more on record. And yeah, all in all, it's pretty, yeah, I think those kind of bands kind of affect you in a way that makes you kind of want to try to affect someone else in that way, even though when people say stuff like, you know, this song means a lot to me, or this record's one of my favorite records, you don't really think that it's in the capacity in which, like, Clarity is my favorite record. I don't think that as a musician I would ever be content or okay with thinking that our band's effect on someone is the same equivalent to Jimmy Eat World's record having an effect on me. Even though I guess to a degree it could be true, because music is relevant to what you think of it, but it's just not really something that I'm willing to, I guess, let myself be okay with or believe. But so yeah, I mean, I guess just trying to connect with people in the best way possible and the most positive way possible, without shying away from the serious issues that aren't necessarily most positive. Hey, this is Tim from Underoath. We're backstage at the Warped Tour in Mountain View. You're watching the Bay Area Backstage.
That's a wrap. Thank you, buddy.
That is a wrap.
That's a wrap.
That's a wrap.